Nerdrotic.com.
I'll be on screen in just a minute. I forgot to put my headphones on. All right, here we go. That's better. That's better. Very professional. Let's do that again. Thank you. Thank you. The mic should be louder this time around. I fixed the problem. Welcome to the Nerdrotic Nooner. It is noon somewhere. Just saying. It's noon somewhere. It looks like next week we can start at the new time. It looks like it's going to be next week. Got a lot done. Killed a lot of ants. All right. They started coming in through my window. Just out of nowhere. And the wasps here are huge. Freaking huge. Huge. All right, what are we going to talk about today? Well, Disney decided to betray parents. Marvel decided to betray parents. I mean, there's no other way to put it. Their base. You know, adults with kids. They want their kids to watch their little superhero movies and their space wizard movies with laser swords and their little tween age dramas that are turning into twink age dramas. Yes, the Miss Marvel trailer was released yesterday. We're going to react to it live. I wanted to do this on the real BBC, so I need to start off by apologizing to Az from Heel vs. Babyface, Nina Infinity, and Mahler. I missed them yesterday. I missed you guys. It sucked. It was horrible. My internet was out all friggin' day. There's a lot of road work going on here in Texas because they are starting to put a lot of the infrastructure, underground, a lot of the electronic infrastructure because of the big freeze of 2021, or was it 2020? Whatever. I have a couple of dead palm trees in my backyard that I got to remove from that big freeze. So somebody clipped the line, the Google Fiber line. And that's how it went down. So sorry I missed it. I'll be back next week. Oh my God, this is what I had to bag and board. Just Spider-Man 100 through 200. So I'll save it for next week. I mean, that is the sweet spot for Spider-Man. It's so good. So good. Okay. Miss Marvel, who Marvel wanted to be the next Spider-Man, created by one Sana Amanat, who may or may not be on her way out. Now, when it comes to the Skipper rumor thing, generally don't do it. Because you don't know who you're talking to. And quite frankly, it's been my experience that you need to really know somebody in the industry. And in most cases, you can't say anything because you'll cost that person their job, which I don't want to do, quite frankly. But I trust Az, and Az talked about this on the real BBC over Christmas. And apparently there might be some Cuomo kind of stuff going on with Sana Amanat. And maybe she's quietly being exited, kind of like, I think Bounding covered this, and we'll talk about it. But Axel Alonso was exited the same way, just very quietly. Don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's true. As has heard a rumor, so take it with a grain of salt. With the Doctor Who stuff I talked about, I knew somebody. I knew a person who worked peripherally around things concerning the show, Doctor Who. And wow, those turned out to be right. Worse than I reported. Actually, much worse than I reported. There's, we talk to people. We talk to people all the time. We can't say anything because it would get these people fired immediately. So I don't want that. That's why a lot of my stuff is educated guessing because I've talked to fans for decades, sold fans comic books for a decade, and, been a nerd all my life. So it's easy to guess a lot of this shit. And honestly, woke entertainment is not difficult to predict. Like I said, it's like Mexican food, but bad. Okay. Because Mexican food is 5 or 6 variations of the same thing. Woke storytelling is 5 or 6 variations of the same thing. Let's see who's here. What's up, Big Raj? Member for 15 months. Hey, Gary, are there any leprechauns in DC or Marvel lore? Leprechauns. There is in DC lore. I'm sure there is in Marvel lore, and I'm just forgetting it right now. I'm absolutely sure. And I'll probably know it, but it's just that one came out of nowhere. I don't know right now, but I'm sure I can remember it later. But thank you. And so Art Bell is here in heaven. Art Bell is in heaven. One of the greatest talk show hosts who ever lived. Succumbed to his demons. Very sad. It was a sad day. I miss Art Bell. He was the greatest. Hail JT, hail Bastard, hail Weston 487, Broken Prophet, Common Sense. We need a lot of that. Mutated Genome, Rugo Beta, just another red shirt in his wrench. Neurotic BP, Garth Vader, Fat Elvis, you're just big boned. T Elk, Gabriel W, Atheon, and Inject Some Common Sense. Hell, Rex Hutchinson, Gabriel W, The Draenor, D Gray, and Matthew Spathis with $10 says, Gary, I found some Lord of the Rings artwork from Frank Frazetta, 6 frames with a certificate of authenticity from my dad on Christmas 20 years ago. They are now on my office wall. Dude, I got to find that. I need to find those. That's awesome. That is awesome. Hail, everyone. Sorry, I'm late because I had to down some late lunch before I started. And it was, I threw in, somebody sent me, they sent me a nice letter. I'm going to read it, but I can't. Jacob sent me some hot sauce, and fuck, it's good. And it's hot. And I put that on my chicken soup, and yeah, it's still a little sweaty, and it's hot in here. Okay. Welcome, everyone. So I guess we'll start with the statement. I just finished recording a video on this subject and kind of mixing it in with the Miss Marvel news. And we'll start with Miss Marvel. So Miss Marvel, honestly, it's not going to be a show I'm going to review. And I mentioned that in my video from a couple months back, which a lot of you watched. Thank you. That it's a show for teenage girls, and I think it really fits the sweet spot of the Disney brand, which is a girl brand. They tried to buy Marvel and Star Wars to get more dudes watching, which they did, but then they turned those two things into girl brands. That's essentially what there are, because there are differences between boys and girls. That might be a radical statement on YouTube, but there's differences in tastes and all kinds of stuff. Although a lot of girls liked comic books when they were comic books, but it was not a majority. It was nowhere near the numbers that they think. There's an erroneous poll that went out back in 2014. Can't remember if it was on Facebook or not. That asked generally, are you interested in comics? And the poll came back like 50-50 basically, which is just utter bullshit. If you're talking about like interest in comics, like I like Superman and Spider-Man and I'll buy a t-shirt and a pop vinyl. Sure. If you're talking about I buy comic books at least once a month, that is, I'd say on the most generous of estimates, 85% dudes, 15% women. And that's generally what it was in my store. And I actually tried. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. Same with action figures. Same with all those sales. They have tried very hard to go against the grain, and it just hasn't worked with products. Now, they've finessed and figured things out, and that's why they turned Marvel into a lifestyle brand, and that's why the comics fucking suck. They suck. They absolutely suck. Now, they don't pay people very well, so that's why we're stuck with Sana Amanats and all the ilk over there as far as editors are concerned. And it fucked up the industry. It's okay to say that. It's okay to say that. So what the MCU is doing now is bypassing great stories that sold in the millions to get to crappy stories that sold in the thousands, and books were canceled multiple times, including Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel has been canceled a lot. Not as much as Captain Marvel has been canceled. And yes, it's canceled. They'll come out and say, no, it was always meant to be a 6-issue run or a 38-issue run. And I quit, and although it was in the middle of the week and I walked away crying, it's bullshit. It's all bullshit. I sold these books, and by the way, we don't know what the numbers are anymore because there is no more Diamond. So all these numbers are internal, and they can't lie, but they can manipulate, which is lying. They can give out very favorable numbers or just not give them out at all like the streaming services do because they're all astronomically low. But even for a hit comic, your average hit comic, which my store would sell 100 to we'll just say 100. In the beginning it was 100, turned into 200, but we'll say it's 100. That would sell out. But all the other comics sold, I put maybe 20 on the shelf. I had 15 subscribers. I put 5 on the shelf. I'd order 20 because I had 15 subscribers, and I might sell 2. I'm stuck with 3. That's what most stores are stuck with. And a lot of comic book buyers, at least from 2002, 2003 to 2013, were habitual based on my store. I was a pure comic book store. So they would read half of their books. They'd want to read them all, but they'd only read about half. And believe me, nobody was reading Miss Marvel. Nobody was reading Miss Marvel. It got a ton of hype. It was pushed through Scholastic. And currently, right now, on Wikipedia, there is a line that I just put in my video that says, Miss Marvel might not have sold as much in shops, but it was a bestseller digitally. And one of Marvel's best-selling digital comics. And right next to that, it says, unreliable source. Right next to it. But they keep it up. But right next to it, it says unreliable source. I just laughed, which obviously was put in recently because I just went to that Wikipedia 2 months ago to do my video 2 months ago. So yes, there are, stans or people who work for Marvel who are out there doing their due diligence, just like they were with Lord of the Rings, scrubbing Wikipedia sites of information that might be problematic to their narrative. Information that's been up there all. So no, you can't trust any of this shit anymore. Just like you can't trust the mainstream media. That's why you can't trust the access media. That's why you're here. What did I tweeted an article last night from Screen Rant that said Captain Carter is more inspiring than Captain America. And it's just stupid, right? But that's what they want out there. Marvel wants to get rid of Captain America. They want to get rid of Iron Man. They want to get rid of Peter Parker Spider-Man. They want Miles Morales. They want America Chavez. They want Miss Marvel. They want Captain Marvel because these are their characters. They don't have to F around with the IPs, and they can pretend they're so virtuous. Just like when they very vaguely back a grooming bill publicly, just a virtue signal, completely ignoring the Uyghur Muslims in China, where Disney filmed a movie right next to a camp that you concentrate in and then thanked the people from that province or region who run that camp. We don't see any statements about that. So right after they come out against parental rights, basically, they want to give you the family-friendly Miss Marvel. Now, initially, it looked like Miss Marvel would be running concurrently with Kenobi, and that might be the case. So this might be the case the first time that they run two shows at the same time, unless they're going to drop it all at once. I don't know. They might be, who knows? But as it stands right now, that might be happening. And Miss Marvel's going to be the first show that they run against a Star Wars show, Obi-Wan Kenobi, called by like people like John Campea, a bold move. No, it's called burying the show. It's called burying the show. The show that had multiple reshoots. And remember what I said in that video. They cast directors and writers. They do not hire them. When you hire a writer and a director, they will facilitate the ideas. That doesn't happen at Marvel. They are the facilitator of Kevin Feige's ideas. That's why there's no showrunners, because Kevin Feige is the showrunner of everything. See, what we're seeing now is full Kevin Feige. We did not see that until he was fully in control, which was Civil War on. Civil War on. Until then, he had people to answer to. There was Perlmutter, who was thrown under the bus for absolutely everything. So I'm guessing the guy probably wasn't that bad. Bob Iger was that bad. Oh, cool. Here. Oh, hand me that too. Is that coffee? Oh, that's not for me? This is the old one. Oh my God. I want. Sorry. Hang on. There we go. We got some, ooh, look at this. Mouse pads. If anybody needs them anymore, we got some. Look at that. And then beanies. Sweet. Thanks, son. She's tripping on all of my stuff in my office. Yeah, you see all the good part. You don't see all the boxes like sitting around out of the purview. Okay, where was I? Miss Marvel. Yes, we're going to look at this trailer in just a moment. In just a moment, we're going to look at this trailer. But no, I'm not going to review this. I'm not a 12-year-old girl. There's no reason for me to watch this. It will be woke. They now in two trailers wanted to make sure to let you know that a brown girl from Jersey is not the kind of person who saves people, except if you're maybe a brown girl from Louisiana. They saved people, Captain Marvel. And Miss Marvel is not only just a derivative character, she's a derivative character to the power. I just did that math in my video. I think to the power of 8. To the power of 8. Because there was, how many Captain Marvels were those? Marvel. Monica Rambeau. So there's Marvel's son. And then there was that, I'm forgetting her name now, the other girl one. And there was another Kree. And then there was the Skrull that was tricked into Captain Marvel. So those are all Captain Marvels. Then there was Carol Danvers. Was it Sharon Ventura? And then there's Kamala Khan. So yeah, to the power of 8 or 9 derivative character. Totally original. Totally original. And that's not even counting the DC Captain Marvels. And that's not even counting the other Captain Marvel that was a Superman ripoff that was like a robot. Yeah, there's been a lot of Captain Marvels. A lot. And they turned into Miss Marvels. And quite frankly, Carol Danvers was fine as Miss Marvel. Liked the character quite a bit. Had no problem with her. When they turned her into Captain Marvel. Insufferable. See you next Tuesday. I'm not British. I can't get away with that. I might say it later, though. In a rage. In a rage. All right. Let's see if we can do this. I got to make sure the audio is right. I didn't have this set up. I did not have this set up. So let's get that going. Let's get that going. And we'll do this. Talk amongst yourselves. Just a moment. There we go. There we go. Oh, come on. That works. All right, you're going to have to see me just do this live. Here we go. Oh my God, it's still #1 on trending. Oh my God. That's, I'm sure, natural. All right, you ready? I did watch some other people react to this, and I saw some of the people who were like, it's great, oh my God. Guys my age. Guys my age. Oh, there's a song in this. Oh no, am I going to get whatever. Who cares? Blinding Lights by The Weeknd. By the way, they played this in my gym a lot when I wasn't drowning it out with some Danzig. That's right. Doing a lot of working out to Danzig and just some really dark and evil music, but I digress.
Okay, so first off, I just want to say, I get it.
Oh my God. I get it. Oh my God.
You get what?
High school.
You don't get me. I am a brown girl from Jersey, and I'm not allowed to save people because I am marginalized because everybody tells me that.
Kamala.
She mispronounced her name. What a bigot.
Another Avengers shirt.
Oh my God. It's Cal Arts Avengers shirt. Cal Arts Avengers. A pretty good representation, to be honest with you.
Cute.
Oh my God, it's a redhead. And she's the devil. It's like Jen Psaki in high school.
She thinks I'm some kind of weirdo.
You were a weirdo.
Boys. Excuse me?
Yeah.
You're kind of on my shirt.
Isn't he a little scrawny?
Sorry.
But you're staring out the window in your little
All right, not as scrawny as Robert Pattinson. Ah!
fantasy land.
Oh my God, that costume's so that's terrible. It is awful. What did your boy Zach say? That the Captain Marvel costume looks like generic superhero that you would put on like a plumbing van. Which is the best description. Back when Richard was just on fire.
Kamala, hey.
Oh my, those thorns are going to cut your lip, bro.
Already? Really? Come on, like.
Do I have to figure out my whole future before lunch, or is there like...
I mean, yeah, it's not for me. I can't say it's this is what it's made for. It's made for 14-year-old girls, which I'm sure it's perfectly fine for. I'm just, I can't get my head around liking anything like this. Yeah.
Maybe they're right. I spend too much time.
Listen, like I said, they cast creators and writers, whom I'm sure there are some who do the best they can with what they're given. And especially when you're caught up in show business today, which admittedly cannot be an easy thing. If you're, say, an outsider to all this, in other words, like you're not on YouTube or Twitter and you're just like a filmmaker minding your own business and Marvel gives you a call and you're like, hey, it's Marvel. You're going to answer the phone. You're going to take the job. Of course you are. Of course you are. Then you start the job. And you're like, man, I get to write and direct Marvel. And then you find out you don't. You get to facilitate, fortify. That's why, I mean, not all the time. Okay, I'm going to be real with you. Not all the time. But I try to keep, like, I don't go after, like, crew members or, if it's a writer, it's going to be like somebody like Basha K. Ali. Because she wants you to know, first and foremost, she's a feminist, and I doubt she's ever cracked open a comic book in her life, and she is one of the writers for this. Last time I checked. So I did my homework. I checked because she's labeled a comedian, which is somebody who makes people laugh. It's supposed to be intentionally, but in her case, it's unintentionally. So she does a feminist podcast. There is no such thing as a feminist comedian. That is somebody bitching and moaning. That's all it is. There's no such thing as an SJW comedian. Speaking of comedians, I have something to plug in just a minute.
In Fantasyland.
That is not you.
It's not really the brown girls from Jersey City who save the world. City, you save the world. It's not really the brown girls from Jersey City who save the world.
You know why they had to put Jersey City in there? Because they wanted to put brown girls, and they went, wait, shit. We've already got like 7, 6, I can't remember. 3, 4, 5, 6 brown girls already saving people. So it's got to be from Jersey City. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not like the little redhead girls from Roscoe, South Dakota ever save anybody. Shit.
That's the fantasy too.
All right, so they changed her powers. So the immensely popular Miss Marvel, popular, we're told popular, took the world by storm, was going to replace Spider-Man. They have to radically change her powers to make her more palatable to the MCU audience. Oh, and there's another thing that Twitter brought up. I personally have no issue with this. And this is where I would have sympathy for people who work on the show who aren't involved in this. But I have no sympathy for Kevin Feige, who I imagine made this decision because he makes all the decision. They changed the powers to magical cosmic, which might go against somebody's religion. It depends on how you practice, I guess. I mean, I'm obviously no scholar on anything, much less the Muslim religion. But yeah, apparently there's some people who have a little bit of problem with that. So they might be changing her powers again. We don't know. We don't know, but she's Green Lantern. So we have another omnipotent female cosmic character who, opened a case and put on some bracelets? That's her origin? Well, I guess that's no better than standing next to an explosion and becoming a god. Or, walking through a barrier while being positively affirmed, which was Monica Rambeau in WandaVision, which I was laughing hysterically during that scene. She's like going through the barrier and like, you're the best. You're the greatest. You inspire us all. Ooh. And then she walks through and then she's just got blue eyes. I don't know what that was supposed to mean, but, and yeah, now they can all take out Thanos. So we got Captain Marvel, Photon, if I guess that's what they're going to call Monica Rambeau. Then we got Miss Marvel, and then we got the Scarlet Witch, who is now just a goddess, more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme, who is Wong, by the way, not Doctor Strange. And why bother fighting? Just have Wanda walk up, kick Galactus in the balls. And the movie's over.
Did something happen to you?
No, why? Did you hear something?
Come on. What does it feel like?
Cosmic. I always thought I wanted this kind of life, but I never imagined.
Oh, the music hurts. It hurts. It hurts. Ugh. Oh, my God. That's so bad. That music. Oh, you just like Disney wants to be so inspiring to young girls, and except for the young girls in China.
Any of this.
Do you even know what you are?
I'm a superhero.
Oh, it's from the comic book. It's from the comic book. Okay. Well, I suppose somebody can report in and tell me how the story is. I'll cover Moon Knight. I really do like that character, like a lot. But I'm not going to watch this. I'm not going to watch this. Because I'm 52 and I don't have daughters. And I'll go, hey, Nerdrotic Jr., want to watch Miss Marvel? And he'll just look at me like I'm not even his dad, like an alien took over his dad. That's what he'll look at me like. Yeah, my son's not going to watch this. He'll just watch Spectacular Spider-Man again or something. You got to wonder when it's all going to end. I did say it was going to get worse before it's going to get better, and we might be well into the worst. I'm not sure. Again, you never know who's watching. You never know who's watching. Maybe this is the greatest thing ever made. Maybe it is. I'll be skipping it. Because there's nothing for me in there. It's like, do I want to sit down and identify with a 14-year-old girl? Well, I remember 14-year-old girls when I was 14. I don't want to watch that in a movie again. Or if I do, I'll watch a John Hughes movie. I'll watch 16 Candles. Or Weird Science. Well, sorry we had to sit through that. But, hey, I will say that I won't be watching Kenobi either. So I won't be watching anything on Disney Plus when there's two things on Disney Plus. I wonder if Disney Plus is going to crack down, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch stuff on Netflix much longer, because they're cracking down on the sharing passwords with friends. Really great time to do it. You know when the best time to crack down on your customers is? When everything's more expensive. That's like the best time to do it. And yes, Netflix, 4 counts of bad things for cuties. I don't think they have a case, but I mean, because this is America. But if they did break, I think if they can prove they broke laws in this country, sure, why not? Prosecute, because that movie is disgusting. But there's the libertarian in me that says I don't want government regulating things. I'd really like people to stop being creeps to children. Now, we know that's not going to happen, so there has to be some protection in place. And if they did indeed, through an investigation, break some actual laws, which I would argue they might have, then, yeah, prosecute. I really don't want to talk about that movie. Oh, God, it was so dark talking about that shit. Oh. All right, we're going to get to some of your questions, and then we'll talk about Marvel's statement that came out the same day as this trailer. The same day as this trailer. How y'all doing? You wonderful, beautiful people, you. Oh, and again, sorry about the real BBC yesterday. I felt bad about that. Scruxy for $1 says, let superheroes represent hope and morals, not religion and thirsty 4-year-olds. I'm a Muslim, and I already know this show is going to fuck up the image of Islam more than it already has in media. Yeah. I think the one thing you got going for you, Scruxy, is most people are not going to go by Disney's version of anything. And I think most people will still judge you as an individual based on your personality and everything. And that's what we really need to push for instead of this collectivism bullshit. Because, being Muslim is part of your life, right? But, it's not your entire identity, of course. And most of us know that. And, yeah, I mean, a bad analogy would be comic book men, okay? I know it's a bad analogy, but I don't know anything about religion, but I know a thing or two about selling comic books. And the show Comic Book Man was pure fantasy. Pure fantasy. That's not what it's like. You know what it's like in a comic book? Long stretches of nobody in your shop. So you're watching TV, you're counting comics, you're reading, and it's long stretches of nothing interrupted by pure chaos. And once every 6 months, somebody will bring in a book worth buying. Most of the time, it's crap coming in, right? So I'm sure it's the same with everything else. I'm sure, you're like ER isn't anything like a real ER. Dovster for $1.97 says, love you, Gary. Have 2 questions. I know you said you don't play video games, but have you played a masterpiece of a game called BioShock? Great writing, characters, and the world. 2000's legendary time of animation. Have you seen Samurai Jack and legendary shows? Yes. Tartakovsky is one of my favorites. Have you watched Primal, his latest? It's fucking great. It's great. It's one of the greatest shows on TV. Huge fan of Tartakovsky. His Clone Wars are brilliant. Samurai Jack is brilliant. As far as BioShock, I know it through my son, and it's a creepy game, and I like it. But I haven't played it. I've seen my son play it a lot. And this is on the donation side, circumventing Mama Susan. Thank you very much. Low Water Mark for $25. Thank you. Who are the 3 puppets behind you on your right on the floor? Supreme Court justices, or is it Fraggle Rock dudes? They look like Fraggle Rock dudes to me. Those are, this is an angel puppet from Angel. So there's a great episode by Ben Edlin, the creator of The Tick, called Smile Time, where Angel is turned into a puppet. And yeah, so there's like a vampire angel. And yeah, and they made a Spike one, even though Spike doesn't turn into a puppet in the show. So it's Angel. How am I supposed to say this name? Jew in the Woods. That's what it says. Jew in the Woods for $10. Hale, do you have any good memories of being an inmate firefighting hand crew? Favorite tools, locations, anything you hate? I am part of a JTF rattlesnake. Governor Newsom quietly doing what President Trump told him to do, rake the forest. Yeah, because you had a conflagration. I have hard time with the word, but conflagration, which is like firestorm, massive firestorm in California because our idiot fucking governor didn't rake the forest, didn't do the thing that the Native Americans knew how to do 12,000 years ago. Yes, they were cleaning the forest of all the underbrush because they know it would create a firestorm. Gavin Newsom didn't do it. That year, got a fire. And then the fucking idiot tries to blame climate change, which I think was part of the plan, to be honest with you. That's just my opinion. The dude is fucking evil. He's evil incarnate. Favorite memories of being locked up and just the fact that I got to go and fight the fire. So I fought a fire at Lake Paris, which is a town north of Temecula in San Bernardino County, I believe. Fought that one for 10 days. I was a swamper because I was fast. So I had the chainsaw. Yep. So how we trained for firefighting in jail was like any other firefighter. They trained us like any other firefighter. So I was CDF certified. I had a car. I could have gone out and gotten a job afterwards. But I was CDF certified, went through the firefighter training. We had this thing called Mount Motherfucker. And you had to climb Mount Motherfucker, and you had to climb Mount Motherfucker fast. I can't remember what the time was. I think it was like 9 or 10 seconds, like some stupid amount, like nobody could hit. But it was just like that, and I flew up that fucker. My career ended early, Jew in the Woods, because I was fucking around after a fire, and I was pretending I was skiing. So I was like jumping down. I was all boo, boo, boo. I was 19. So I'm jumping like this, and my foot slipped on a rock, and that rock hit me right in the tailbone and busted it. I busted my tailbone, which is not fun. I was so injured, it got me out of jail early. So there was that. And it was from fucking around, being a knucklehead. But no, the chainsaw was my favorite tool. Yes. Turning on the chainsaw, chopping shit up. But big flames coming at you and not shitting your pants is my most proud moment. That I did not completely shit my pants. Close. I mean, a little pee came out. Because damn, it's indescribable. Like seeing a 30-foot flame in front of you. Yeah. Oh. Run away. All right. So, yeah, Disney put out a statement. We'll get to Super Chats in just a second. Disney put out a statement. Let's go to Disney's statement. I just saw Chris Gore says, I've never felt more gaslit than I have in the last 2 years. Well, I mean, there's gaslighting, but gaslighting is like, we're going to make things sound a little worse than they are to fire you up. Disney coming out against parents. There ain't no fucking sugarcoating that one. Is it the biggest issue in the country? Of course it isn't. Of course it isn't. But I cover entertainment, and one of the fundamental things you do is you do not betray your base audience. And this proves Disney might be too big of a corporation. Okay, it is. Because this should hurt. And it probably won't. It probably won't. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to book. There's going to be a lot of Republicans, for what? For I am not one. There's going to be a lot of Republicans who they just straight up said, fuck you, and you're going to book your trip to fucking Disney World. Why? Why? My kids go to Universal. It's cheaper. Your kid will probably enjoy Harry Potter more. But Marvel, yeah, so you could go see Black Falcon Captain America. You won't even see the real Captain America. You'll see derivative Captain America, and they took an original character that they could have built up, and they gave him some white man hand-me-downs. Oh, and other bad news for Disney today. 4 Disney employees arrested in Polk County human trafficking campaign, deputies say. From WFLA News. I asked for any statements. I don't think we're getting any statements coming from Disney. Just, here we go. Oh, shoot. Why does it always kick in like that? You're going to see something. Whoa, no. There we go. Statement for Marvel Studios, 4:45 p.m. yesterday, March 15th, 2022. We strongly denounce any and all legislation that infringes on the basic human rights of the LGBTQIA plus community. Marvel Studios stands for hope, inclusion, and strength, except if you're a woman who gets out of line, then we'll fire your ass. Evangeline Lilly, watch your ass. And we proudly stand with the community today. Today, we pledge to continue our strong commitment as allies who promote the values of equality, acceptance, and respect. All that Marxist language. So the LGBTQIA plus activist political wing, whom they are supporting and capitulating to, over a pretty common sense bill. If my kid comes to a teacher in Florida and says, I think I'm a girl, when he's a boy, parent should find out. The parent should know. And what the state will do is you can't trust the parent. There might be some abusive parents. And you know what? There are. There are abusive parents. This is how tyranny destroys freedom. By exposing its weaknesses. And freedom is filled with weaknesses, is filled with problems, filled with risk. My parents used to let me just frickin' ride around everywhere, unsupervised. I was fine, for the most part, out playing. But now, what they do is they find these little cracks. And yes, you have to risk certain things. And I would err on the side of caution by going to the parents first. What if the parents are fundamentally religious? Well, whatever. It's their kid. It's their kid. Just because they don't believe the same thing you do doesn't mean you are morally right. And it's not for a teacher to judge. Of course, teachers want to protect kids. And there's cases where kids come to school with bruises and shit. And yeah, there's that case. But that's thankfully rare. Not as rare as I'd like it to be, but rare. But we're talking about kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade. Should be fourth, fifth grade too. I don't think you should introduce this stuff clinically in sixth grade. I'm for it. All for it. Show them the gambit, but not when they're little kids. If they don't know how to add 2 and 2, they shouldn't be talking about gender. If they don't know how to spell their name, they shouldn't be talking about gender. So it's weird. It's weird. No, it's creepy. It's devious. And we know what you're doing. I know what the argument will be. You're far right. If this is a far right position, then fuck it. I'm far right. I don't give a fuck. But if that's your only argument to everything, Russell Brand just came out. Somebody just put up a clip from Russell Brand who's completely changed. Wow. Good, but wow. About how he's been labeled. Russell Brand has been labeled far right. It's just another one of those labels that trying to hide you wanting to suck the cock of tyranny. So this is Marvel. This is Marvel on top of Disney's statement, capitulating to the political weirdos who are fucking running Hollywood right now. And it's going to be, it's already a problem. You saw them whipping out all the excuses last year. All the box office is down and dooba-doob and the excuse and the coof and the ba-ba-boo. A percentage of that is people you have alienated. Oscar ratings are down. Percentage of that is people you've alienated. That number is only going to grow as people become more aware of this. And it's baked into everything Disney does. Their parks, their hotels, their TV shows, their movies. In the stupid ass Galactic Star Cruiser, the Twi'lek is fighting for the rights of a race. So much for a galaxy far, far away. So it depends on what the threshold is at this point. Yeah, I said it in the last live stream. I'm never going to Disneyland or Disney World. You want to hit them where it hurts? Don't book it. Don't give them money at their parks. That's their cash cow. That's what they need. And thanks to Ron DeSantis in Florida, Disney was able to make some money. And Gavin Newsom shut them down. And you know who they backed? Gavin Newsom, the guy who shut their ass down. Bob Iger even left the honorary committee he was on over it. And then fucking donated to keep him from getting recalled. Because Larry Elder was going to be the Antichrist. Yikes, yikes, yikes. All right. Get back to you. dark stuff, man. I don't want to be talking about this shit. I would rather talk about fucking Moon Knight or whatever. But that is awfully dark stuff, man. Here we go. McTwiz. Wait, we had one early on. I got to get to. Hang on. I got to refresh that now. One moment. There we go. Jeremy 404 not found for $100. Thank you. Hail to my favorite YouTuber. Appreciate all you do, brother. It was you, the TLJ videos that woke me up to everything going on in entertainment. Love you, brother. Thank you. Right back at you, man. I appreciate that. Germ 404 not found. It's reciprocal. You know, I was talking about that Access Media earlier. They're the reason I came to YouTube. I came to YouTube because I didn't believe a fucking word they were saying, and I wanted to find out what was going on. And, well, I found out what was going on. And people do that every day. Every day. And I can't wait. Again, I talked about this on Monday. In about June of next year, I'm going to be able to talk about the conversation I had this weekend that would give you all a lot of hope about an awakening going on in Hollywood. It's late, and it might be it very well could be too late. But people are starting to kind of like speak up or at least question what's going on. And we need that to continue. We do. Matthew Spathis for $10 says, Gary, I found some, I read this one. Frank Frazetta stuff, which I got to check out. Bill Bonius bag of donuts for $5 says, Hail chat, I'm quitting the Hobbit leaf as it's addled my senses. Nearly at first 24 hours sober in 3 years. Thanks for the inspiration, Gary. Stream sober. Hail Hey, Bill Batty. That's awesome. Well, one day at a time. One day at a time, all right? It's don't be too hard on yourself, but definitely internalize the one day at a time thing. It's hard to get at first because and sometimes it's 1 hour at a time. It's 1 hour at a time. Just so you know, the stream sober tweet was a joke. It was just a joke. That's all it was. I do not judge other streamers on their spirit intake during a stream. As a matter of fact, Quarter Black Garrett and I, we only caught like the last hour of it or something like that, but we were laughing our asses off. Or we were 3 hours in. So we caught like an hour of it at 1:30 in the morning here. We were laughing our asses off. William 101 for $10 says, Hail, Gary. Hope you're loving Texas. I am so far. Welcome to the South, brother. Yeah, that's got to sink in a little bit that I'm in the South. I'm in the South. I like it. I like it. No problems at all. Everything's cheaper. It's great. When you move from California, it's like such a grading curve, right? Yeah, but like they're bitching about $4 gas here. I'm like, it's still cheaper than when I left California. It was $5 when I left. I mean, it sucks. Sorry, but if Miss Marvel existed in a vacuum, no one would care or be offended. It's only annoying because the stories we do want aren't allowed, but this one is, says Daniel for $5. Yeah, I mean, I don't care. I mean, I have no problem with a Pakistani teenage superhero at all. At all. I have a problem with that being used and what it's being used for. And it's really fucking obvious. And if Miss Marvel came out in 2014, nobody would care. Nobody'd say a word about it. But we saw Captain Marvel. And it wasn't just a Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel could have been a fun, successful movie. Absolutely. If they made her act the real Carol Danvers. It could have been just a fun Marvel movie. But no, they really had to lean into the girls are oppressed. Oh my God. You know who's not oppressed? Fucking blonde white women from California. Somehow they made themselves an oppressed class. Sir Ubasan for $5. I'd love to see Razor Fist on Friday Night Tights again. Why did your comic shop get sold? I absolutely would love to have Razor Fist back. As a matter of fact, I'm going to shoot him a message, or I'll have X-Ray Girl. One of us will shoot him a message today, and we'll get him on the books. Because I love Razor Fist. I sold my comic shop because I fell off the wagon. So it wasn't for a lack of sales or anything. Actually, the comic shop was doing really good. I wasn't doing very good personally. Personally, I was doing very bad. So I had to make a decision. I'm like, do I just continue going on with this successful shop and just burn through my health and my family and my life? No. So I chose the latter. I just chose to get sober and sold it. And it paid off many years later, but it paid off. Not many, but it took 6 years to get back on my feet again. So 6 years of going to meetings and working not shitty jobs, but jobs my age and my skill set had already done, and I had to start over again. A lot of humility, a lot of had to swallow a lot of pride. I did. But you ain't got no pride left when you're on the floor, really. Have you seen Sonic 1, the movie? Because if you plan to seeing the sequel, it's looking pretty boss. Definitely a star compared to the woke wet matches, says Sir Ubasan for $5 more. I'm not going to see Sonic. I'm not a Sonic guy, but I want it to succeed. I am rooting for it like hell. So totally rooting for it. If my kid wants to see it, then yes, he did see the first one. So if he wants to see the second one, all right, I'll watch the first one and go see the second one. If he wants to go, it's up to him. But like, if it's me by myself, no. But I'm rooting for it. I hope it makes lots of money. Lots of money. Minor Zircon for $2 says, ooh, guess I need to buy a new beanie. Yes. They will be available for sale. They'll also be available for a giveaway. All you have to do is follow me on Instagram, instagram.com/Nerdrotic. If you follow over there and then follow the instructions when Mrs. Nerdrotic does her giveaway, it's usually on Sundays, there's a chance to win. And you just win. We send it to you on us. And she does the swag giveaway. It's like once a month or something like that. Joe Blah for 5 Canadian pesos. Gary, happy early St. Patrick's Day. Hell yeah. Will you be reviewing the Moon Knight D+ show? Cheers. Yes, absolutely. I'm a huge fan of Marvel. I've always called Moon Knight Marvel's most underused character. I know there's certain aspects of it I just don't like, including the Mr. Knight thing. I'm not a fan of it. I'm just not a fan of it. So hopefully that doesn't take over too much. I am a Mark Spector Moon Knight fan. The only true Captain Marvel, says Shazam, says Matthew Hammond for $5. I agree. It was a better movie too. I haven't gotten a chance to welcome you to Texas, brother. As a transplant myself, can honestly say Texas welcomes travelers, just not the politics they fled from. Hail, says Bastard Luigi for $9.99. Well, thank you very much. Well, Texas is going to like my politics. I'm a fortification for Texas. I am a fortification. I totally stole that from Sydney Watson, by the way. Hey, G, how's your day going? Oh, good. Wayward Culture for $5. Thanks for asking. It's actually pretty good. With the Miss Marvel stuff, here's another reason I'm not going to, and maybe I'm just getting old, okay? But the reason I wasn't going to, I'm going to call it out for being woke and for virtue signaling, but I really don't want to, overly criticize a fucking 15-year-old girl in the show. I'm just not going to go there. That's not a place I want to go. Like with the America Chavez thing. I hate the character America Chavez, but I'm not going to criticize the actress who played her, right? I will go after adults, though. I'm full on. But these are kids. So, I mean, and plus, yeah, I'm like, if other people want to review it, that's fine. I'm not going to judge them for that. I'm just not going there. The thing on this channel that I try to stick to, most of it, is stuff I care about. And usually I care about the genre entertainment that skews adult. That's my thing. So, hey, my next video is going to be Game of Thrones. Well, A Song of Ice and Fire. It's been a while since I've done one of those, but George came out with 2 updates, not just 1, 2. And he's riding this. Man, I don't know what he did with Elden Ring, but that's really pumped him up lately. But I'll give you a little brief preview. All the book fans, you have been sold out. You have been completely sold out. Thanks for the money. I'm going to Hollywood. Fuck you, book fans. That's what he did. That's what he did. And what sucks is because I was such a big fan, such a massive fan of those books. Read them over and over again. Watched all the fucking theory videos, made theories of my own, all that shit. Waste of fucking time. Would love to have Carol Danvers as Miss Marvel again. So would I. Those were the days, at least during the 90s for me. Says Fantastic Mr. Knox. Yep. When she was fun and interesting and her character went through hell. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Thanks for the reminder. Hang on. I had to kill an ant. Where is it? There we go. There we go. Why is it stuck on that one? Oh, okay. That works even better. Oh yeah, that's what I tweeted at him. Woo, wow. I didn't realize how many likes that got. So yeah, I asked about their basic human rights. Got him. Make sure my messages don't pop up here. There we go. That's what I wanted to get done. My friend and co-host, Chrissy Mayer, came out with an album live from January 6th. It is available on iTunes. It is available on Amazon. And I think it already charted. It charted. But we want to keep it charting all week. All week. So if you're interested in a good comedy album, and it's good. I already got it. I highly recommend this. Highly recommend this. It's funny. It's worth your time. It's not that expensive. And this way you can celebrate January 6th all year long. You can. And as I tweeted today, it's proof that women can be funny. Chrissy Mayers live from January 6th. Now, she is pressing vinyl for this too, because I love vinyl. So I can't wait to see that. I love the cover. That's such a great cartoon representation of Chrissy right there. Who was at January 6th? She was there. Yet she's free. So go check it out. Go check it out. iTunes, Amazon Music, Chrissy Mayers live from January 6th. We'll also be talking about it on Friday Night Tights. And congratulations, Chrissy. It played on Sirius XM too, which was awesome. That's great. On Raw Dog. And I'm such a boomer. I still have Sirius XM, but it's mainly so I can listen to Ozzy's Boneyard in the middle of nowhere. Well done, Chrissy. All right, where was I? Yes, this is Matthew Hammond for $5. Says Chrissy Mayers live from January 6th is ranked number 1 in comedy and number 7 in all of Amazon digital music sales. Could we get it to number 6? Let's get it to fucking number 1. By the way, the great Dan Vasc, the man with the beautiful hair and a beautiful voice, who I was watching Tuesday Night Main Event last night, and when I rolled in, I hear Dan Vasc say, "Yeah, it's time to bring out the boobs." So it's a man who said it's time to bring out the boobs. He topped the charts of Amazon and iTunes in Europe and America with our Friday Night Tights theme song, a big naked ass being surfed by the rest of the crew. Beat an Iron Maiden album. Now, according to Razorfist, because I didn't listen to the album, it's like shit. Like, it's absolute shit. But beating an Iron Maiden album, that's going to go on my gravestone, dude. That is fucking awesome. I remember talking to Dan about the song, like kind of like what kind of a feel we wanted, like an 80s animated TV show kind of feel to it. And he just fucking killed it. Absolutely killed it. Perfect. So good. I fucking love that song. And my favorite video is all you guys lip syncing to it. I think I watch that all the time. Bastard Luigi for $1.99. I'm an idiot. Rogue killed Carol Danvers. Still worth. Well, she came back. They all come back in the end. Hail Gary asked Az on the Real BBC yesterday, have you seen the Strange New Worlds trailer? Looks more Star Wars than Star Wars trailer. Yes, Dave Grimes. They showed it to me before Picard, which, oh shit, that airs tonight, doesn't it? Oh, for fuck's sake. God. Oh yeah. We got to talk about Star Trek. Because they're going to make Captain Kirk bisexual. It is happening. So they get a Vampire Diaries guy, and he's 39, and he's playing the young Kirk. Now, Shatner, I think, was 34 or 5 when he played Kirk, who was supposed to be 32. So I guess fine. I'll just say fine. But the guy's like fucking pushing 40, and he's supposed to be the younger Kirk. All right. You know what's funny is I'm thinking about it, and I'm thinking about like Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, when Kirk had his birthday. I'm old, Bones. I'm old. And I'm like, I'm that age. Not what? On my birthday, I'm not going, I'm old. I mean, it didn't feel great, but yeah, the trailer, the Strange New Worlds trailer just looked like Kurtzman garbage. a lot of saccharine, a lot of the wonders of the world are out there, and some, innocuous statement. And they always have to have some big craft next to something 20th. It's a JJ trait to have the Enterprise next to, or a shuttlecraft next to the Earth to show its scale, and to show it off of something from the 20th century, either music or somebody riding a horse. It's just the same aesthetic over and over again. That's fucking 12 years old. And nobody's watching this shit. They have a CW audience that gets CW numbers. And quite frankly, it's written like a CW show. And Paramount's completely happy with that, apparently. The Paramount that's probably going to get bought by someone else, which it shouldn't be. Everybody's waiting for it to be. No, we don't want Paramount bought by Apple or Sony. No. Why do people think this is a good thing? We already have too few companies in charge of too much in Hollywood. And we're just waiting. Oh, Paramount's going to get sold. Sony's going to get sold. No, fuck no. We need to stop all this shit. These companies are getting too big. Any predictions for Kamala Harris Miss Marvel? Whoops. Well, she'll go on the podium and go, "The Earth is the planet, and it is round, and it floats around in space, and it orbits the sun. Ukraine bad." Ukraine war bad, sorry. Yo, Gary, do you know that, by the way, thank you, Dajik16 for $2. Yo, Gary, do you know of the new Florida bill? Yes, I do. Karma for $2. I am very aware of it. I just did a video on it. And why is Marvel getting involved in this shit? Oh, I know why. They believe in entertainment for all, except if you're half the country. Then fuck off. Break down all the clues for the Game of Thrones, A Dance of Dragons ending. Kelly Johnson for $2. All the clues. Wow. All right. Well, Winds of Winter. Jon Snow won't be in most of the book. I think he might pop up in the last chapter and be brought back to life. His dead body will be shoved in an ice cell, and that's where it will stay. And we might see his perspective through Ghost in a couple of chapters. It will not be Melisandre bringing him back. I think it might be Lady Stoneheart. That would be kind of poetic. But George has a formula. Quite frankly, what he does is he sets expectations, he subverts expectations, he puts people in the middle of action, and then he leaves things on cliffhangers. But he likes to do patterns. The character of Arya is basically repeated in the book 4 or 5 times. He really likes his tomboy girls. He's a male feminist. And some of the girls have plot armor. Some of the dudes don't. But as far as clues to the ending, I definitely think there is a hive mind involved. I don't trust the children of the forest. I think Bloodraven, who basically is Elric, is either being manipulated or manipulating Bran. But I think Bran will be too powerful for everybody because he's pretty fucking powerful. And once he gets a hone on his power, I think we'll find out that the others in the White Walkers are not evil. That there was maybe a treaty that somebody broke, And that's why they showed up. I mean, isn't it weird that the show never told you why they fucking showed up? They just, okay, they were created back then. And then one day they just said, okay, we're going to wake up and start fucking with people 10,000 years later. No hint as to why. No connection to Danny or the dragons or whatever. We don't know. But I think the ending of the show, parts of it are the end of the book. Bran will be king. I think Tyrion will give a speech. I think Jon will be banished. I think Jon might have to kill Daenerys. I think Dany will go bad. And you could see it being set up in the books. With how she governed Meereen. She tried to govern Meereen. She capitulated, she gave in, and you know what she's going to do? She's going to come back with the Dothraki horde and burn the shit out of everybody. That's what she's going to do, and that's how she's going to take it. Aegon got there first. He's probably going to get killed. The Mummer's dragon is going to get killed. Jaime is not going to die. He'll end up probably joining Lady Stoneheart. That's what I think. That's going to be an interesting one. I honestly don't know where that one's going. I don't give a fuck about Dorne, quite frankly. Just can't. It seems like such a nowhere story that I can't stand. I talk about it a little bit in the in my video, but it would be something I would have to sit down and plan out. But as far as the ending goes, I'm still gonna do a book club where we're gonna figure it out, because it's George's last blog post was telling you that he's done. He's not focusing on Winds of Winter anymore. That's what the blog post said in so many words. I'm going to start writing other things because I'm not interested in Winds of Winter, because I'm way more interested in all of these HBO shows. So HBO got fucked by George and Dan and Dave, and then they fucked the book fans. This whole franchise is fucked. Now, I know there was a collective orgasm from all the A Song of Ice and Fire channels when House of the Dragon comes out, right? I got news for you. The show ain't going to be as successful as Game of Thrones, because fans got burned, and it's missing two major elements. You're not going to be world traveling. You're mostly going to be in Westeros, right? The verisimilitude won't be there because of the sea snake, and we'll talk about that. There will be no White Walkers or others unless they're in some weird side story. And sure, there's going to be plenty of dragons, but here's the deal. Cover your ears if you don't want to be spoiled. Everybody dies. Everybody dies. All the dragons die unless they change the ending. It's like the most downer fucking ending you could possibly think of. It's the Dance of Dragons. The story's been out there forever. It's in the special features of the Game of Thrones. They talk about it all the time. They talk about it within the show. Why aren't there any dragons anymore? Well, there were a lot one time, but then there was the Dance of Dragons. There was the Targaryen Civil War where they all fucking killed each other. So it's essentially, and it really goes into the current year, because one of the stories from of the Dance of Dragons comes from a book called Dangerous Women. And it's essentially two women fighting for the throne over a boy king. Does that sound familiar? It should. Because this story was supposed to act as a backdrop for others, for the main story, right? And I think I forgot what, maybe it's based on a little bit on War of the Roses too, as well as the Song of Ice and Fire. But it's not going to have any George dialogue or much. I mean, it's written as a history, so there's no plot and there's no actual conversation. There are some lines, but it's written historically. So the book that it's based on is written as basically a history from a maester. So the two people involved in the show are pretty good, but yeah, it's going to have a lot of modern themes. And a Corlys Velaryon, who's Valerian, who is from Valeria, descended from Valeria, which is essentially the elves, which is the Targaryens, the Valerians. They all have silver or blonde hair and purple, lilac, or dark blue eyes and very pale skin. Well, you could argue that the sea snake, Corlys Velaryon, is one of the, I mean, there's no good guys in A Song of Ice and Fire, but he's one of the better people. Except he's black with blonde hair. I mean, if you're going to make him black, then just fucking make him black. Make him black. But the thing with A Song of Ice and Fire is it's always been pretty grounded in reality. This fantasy has been grounded in reality. Like George does get in the geology and where people were and stuff. Oh, and he's got multiple races. He's got Summer Islanders. You don't need to race swap a Valerian, but they did. And he's a black guy with blonde hair. Now, in A Song of Ice and Fire, there are races of people who dye their hair. Who dye their hair blue or purple or whatever. Now, if he bleaches his hair in the show, okay, that makes sense. At least it makes sense. If he's out at sea all the time, it still wouldn't be that. It would be blonder, but not like bleach blonde. So it was just cringe. And of course, if you call it out, you're a racist. No, it's just cringe. If you're gonna race swap the guy, then race swap the guy. Go ahead. There's all the other houses you could have done it with, but they decided to do it with him. By the way, later on, there is a paternity issue, which shouldn't be an issue now, quite frankly. It shouldn't be an issue. Which baby is descended from the sea snake? I'm thinking the browner one, maybe. The Alphabet Mob wants your children, says Lightning 1 2 3 4 5 6 for 20 Canadian pesos. I'm not going to say I'll say the political activist wing wants changes that I do not agree with. I'll say that. There is definitely people who want your children. Definitely. Without a doubt. There's also a nuanced argument that should be considered at a much later age. Because kids are born gay. So when do they start figuring that out? Well, probably when us straight kids started figuring out we like girls. Probably the same time. When do you discuss it? Well, is it something you discussed? You had your little crush in third grade, but you're not acting on anything. It's not appropriate for third graders to be acting on anything like that. Talk to your parents? Sure, no problem. Talk to your parents. I think we should keep the state out of that decision. But definitely, for kids, we don't want kids to go through hell who are gay, who are young either. So they need to talk to people. They definitely need to talk to people, but at an older age. Recently had a nightmare. I was watching Friday Night Tights and Chrissy Meyer was replaced with Kamala Harris. Tokenized is in my dreams now. Laugh my ass off. Protect all redheads. Hope all is well, homie. It is. McTwiz for $10. I appreciate it. Ginger side is real. We need to protect our ginger side. Listen, they don't have souls, but that's okay. Karma says, Alphabet Mob like to take away our freedom. I love it when, didn't I see somebody on Twitter say "ma freedom" once? And I'm like, oh, "ma freedom"? I'm going to remember that. Hail, Gary. Thanks for keeping me company while I work far too late here in Switzerland. Oh, Charlotte. Thank you for the 10. I don't know what a CHF is. We'll just say a Swiss peso. A Swiss peso. Thank you, Charlotte. And I hope you don't have to work too late or too hard. All right, this Captain Kirk shit. Here it is. Oh yeah, I had to use a picture because I'm blocked. I am blocked from Star Trek on Paramount. True story. True story. I am blocked from Star Trek on Paramount. I believe I just had something. I didn't have much to say on this subject. Hello there, Jim Paul Wesley will join Star Trek Strange New World Season 2 as James T. Bisexual Kirk. Kirk's going to like some dudes. Kirk's going to go after some cock. Hello there, Jim. Okay, Paul Wesley from the Vampire Diaries. Because remember, everybody is baseline bi in modern Kurtzman Star Trek, the female-centric show. That guy doesn't look anything like William Shatner. Like, at all. And yeah, he was in the Vampire Diaries, which would fit right in at CW Star Trek. You could tell with Picard, they're trying, they're just not talented. So that lack of talent is keeping them from being good. So it's not. Kurtzman has been in charge of Star Trek for 5 years now. For 5 years. The only thing that trends are their announcements. And the only announcements that trends are the third casting of James T. Kirk. I mean, fourth, if we want to count Vic Mignogna, who's a good Kirk. And Star Trek continues. Star Trek continues. Good stuff. I like it. This absolute, utter garbage. Why did the fucking Orville delay itself to June? This is killing me. I don't know why. I don't know if they were they said special effects, but damn, I love Tom Constantino. He's a good man. But dude, you've been working on that series for 2 years, man. Shit, put it out. So we don't have to watch this shit. But this is season 2. So we haven't even gotten season 1 yet. Season 1. I think I've heard RMB muse this. I haven't talked to RMB. He's awfully busy with Campia now. Hey, I'll give you this, though. Campia is the one guy, like, aside from me and Jeremy and others and Az, who had his back when he was being canceled. So, I mean, I'll always credit John Campia for that, for not selling his buddy out. But I think I saw RMB state that this show, I mean, these shows are just there to bolster Paramount's catalog so they can sell. What I talked about earlier. Paramount's going to sell because Sherry Redstone was not the savior some people thought she was going to be. I thought she might have been too. I had to wait and see. But she's not. She's clearly a dumbass, just like all the other fucking dumbasses at Paramount. Like the Bob Cheeks of the world who said, well, I just knew when I saw Kurtzman, that's the guy to run a franchise. And the guy who just like killed the Dark Universe in one fucking movie, that's our guy. Okay, I got to go spray tan. Get my dick sucked by a fucking assistant. You know. It's fucking... But we knew this was going to happen. And like nobody's surprised about this. The rumor was out there a long time ago that they want to make Kirk bisexual. And when we heard it, we went, yep, that's exactly what they're going to do. And guess what? That's exactly what they're going to do. Why bring in Kirk? Why is he sitting in the captain's chair? He wasn't a captain. Why is this guy so fucking old? I don't know. Oh, I know. This isn't Star Trek. But here, I'll show you. What is it? Star Trek Online Plus. Let's go. At Star Trek on Plus. On P Plus. On P Plus. I'm blocked by an entire show, by a franchise. I'm blocked by a franchise. Oh my goodness gracious me. Like shit, Doctor Who doesn't even block me. And I mean, like, if you want to weigh like Star Wars, Doctor Who, Star Trek, like Doctor Who should definitely block me, but they don't. But yeah, I'm blocked by fucking Star Trek. Oh, and not just a show, all the shows. And so is Red Letter Media. So I'm in good company. So is Robert Meyer Burnett. We've got a super chat here from Waffle for 150 shekels. That's shekels, that sign right there. Took me a minute to figure that out. Hail, Gary, just wondering if you guys have plans to host Disparu and George the Giant Slayer on Friday Night Tights. I recently discovered them due to Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power Backlash, and I think they will be great guests. George has been on before. He was on the Friday Night Tights. We were in Vegas. He was on. We'll have him back. Disparu, we'll get Disparu. He was on Friday. I think he was on Tuesday night's main event, right? Yeah. We'll get him on someday. But thanks for the shout out, and I'm sure they appreciate it too, for sure. 15 months, the Tweaky Kid member for 15 months. Bad secret reboot isn't introducing Kurt. It's Captain Kirk Tiberius Harkness. Glad I stopped watching New Trek, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. They're going to rip off Captain Jack Harkness too. And, just to let you know how I feel about Kirk, my kid's middle name is Tiberius. My kid's middle name is Tiberius because of Kirk. That's right. Yeah, George is killing it, man. George is doing well. He don't need me. He don't need me. He went out in the wild and he flew. I said, fly, be free. And he did it. The 10,000, passing 10,000 subs. Way ahead of where I was at that time. Let's see. That was Charlotte. I need to refresh this, and I need to go. This is supposed to be a short one. I promised the Nerdrotic's a short one today, not a 4-hour. That was a good live stream on Monday. Thanks. You guys were great. You guys were great. And you're great today. You're great today. I love you guys. Thanks for coming in and always supporting, coming in at crazy times. So I'll make an announcement on Friday Night Tights, like what the Nooner's schedule is going to look like. I still got to talk to Chris Gore to make sure like he's settled in. I mean, he's given me the thumbs up. So Chris Gore is going to be a co-host on one of the shows. I freaking love Chris. And it's an honor, and it's bizarre to be like co-hosting a show with Chris Gore. Like, it's fucking awesome. That's awesome. So, yeah, I'm excited. Hey, things might be getting better. Tits are back on G4. You know, I've got creatives calling me from Hollywood wanting to talk like humans. It's encouraging. I mean, yeah, there's some shitty stuff going in the world, but it's not as bad as the media wants you to think. It's still bad, but it's not as bad as the media wants you to think. Just remember that, folks. What's the saying now? The kids say, touch grass. I've touched a lot of grass. I've smoked a lot too. And I've also touched a lot. Maybe sometimes inappropriately, but I touched it. Bass player, 2011 for $20 says, feel bad for giving Marvel and DC money by buying new omnibuses, but I don't feel like selling a kidney to buy used. Also started reading Stan Lee's Spider-Man run currently on issue 44, and the stories are great. But the 1960s dialogue is fucking awful. You got to get used to it, man. I love it. I think it's charming. I think it's absolutely charming. But if you want to get into, like I said, like this is your era right here. Let's just say, here, I'll show you some good fucking Spider-Man books. Spider Slayer. Classic Romita cover right there. I mean, this is stuff. This is right before I started buying when I was a kid, but I was able to get these back issues for like $1. But yeah, dog. Oh, yeah, dog. Then we got like Morbius's ass. Just grab that. Like this, you'll love. I mean, like, cannot go wrong with this era. You definitely want to get that in trade, though, because those books, very expensive now. Very, very expensive. And that's my stack from a long time ago. But listen, it sometimes is cheaper to go to like discount books to get the omnibuses because they are pricey, but I would try eBay, dude. I would try eBay. And maybe with a little patience, sometimes people misspell stuff, and sometimes you're able to get deals. Tracy Wilborn for $5, but I'm glad you read that stuff. Wait, when did listening to SiriusXM make you a boomer? I don't know. I just thought it did. That's me. That's totally me, Tracy. Not that I'm not saying that I'm not. I think kids would probably think SiriusXM's kind of a boomer thing. Fucking Howard Stern is a boomer. He's a fucking retarded fucking sellout piece of shit boomer. Anthony Cumia is the king of all media now. Anthony Cumia is the greatest shock jock who ever lived. Fuck Howard Stern. Support Anthony Cumia. I'm not paid to do this. Compoundmedia.com. Compoundmedia.com. Chrissy Mayer has a fucking show there. Gavin McGinnis was just on with Anthony Cumia right before my show started. They were still going live while I think it's like $5. I pay for it. It's like $5 or $6 a month. And I mean, Kumi is worth it alone. But then on top of that, you have Chrissy and a lot of other very talented people. So I've been a subscriber there for a long time. Long time. Fuck Howard Stern. But SiriusXM, I like Ozzy's Boneyard. I do. I mean, they play a lot of Black Sabbath and Iron Maiden. It's just, that's why I like it. But then Ozzy comes on, and they do this interview with Ozzy like twice a month. And it's about the COVID. Why doesn't everybody just get the shot? The siren. He's a giant fucking pussy. He turned into a giant fucking Ozzy fucking Osbourne. Guy I fucking idolize, man. Pussy. Giant fucking pussy. You know who's like the baddest ass band out there from the past, I guess, is Right Said Fred. They're the most based fucking band out there. That and Danzig. Danzig's pretty based. Hey, Gary, if wanting to protect, Dave Mustaine is too. If wanting to protect kids is far right, then guess what? You can count me in. Keep fighting the good fight. Thank you, Cosmic Chief, for $25. I appreciate that. If that's the label I'm going to get, oh well. Gary, I sent you a package. It's at your P.O. box. Evan S. for $3. Got it. Got it. It's right outside that door. Thank you. I'm going to show that on my next Square Up because I got a couple of Texas care packages that are fucking awesome, by the way. You guys are awesome. And thank you. And Apple Emmy's Minion, if you're out there truck driving, hit your horn for me. And thank you for we got the Enterprise. So it's in our Star Trek section. She made these pictures out of these little beads that she put in these little beads. She did a Doctor Who one for me and an Enterprise one for me. And she must have worked her ass off on that. They're freaking brilliant. By the way, if you don't know Apple Emmy's Minion, she was at our meetup. She had Truck Dog. She has Truck Dog. It's a very cute dog. Evan S. for $3. Gary, I got that one. Thank you. Cam Harmon for $10 says, the continued clinging to the superhero genre, which is made to appeal to kids and teens, shows how these people want grooming maps to be normal. Why the fuck hasn't the movie industry focused on original productions for adults? Because of the diddlers. I'm not going to say it's all because of the diddlers, but the diddlers are there. There is a very powerful group of diddlers in Hollywood who have been able to get away with abuse for a long time, just like the dudes got away with abuse on some of the women who were legitimately abused and then got double fucked over by the men and women who lied about it. Yeah. And then, Me Too was rolling and then it stopped dead right when it got to kids. How weird. How strange. Imagine that. It's going to come out someday. It's going to come out someday. It's got close, but what happens is, well, there's some very convenient self-deletions. I mean, all you got to do is look at the child actors that are just completely fucked. Like, fucking on drugs, just a mess of a life. And it can't all be because of the fame. It just can't. There's got to be something else going on. And we know what's going on. We do. There's a video out there. I can't say I attest to every single thing that's in it. Okay. But I'm sure a lot of you have saw it, called An Open Secret. Based on, again, life experience, working there for a couple of years, talking to people, being a fan for a long time, a lot of what you guys suspect is true. And you're in the realm, basically. You're getting warmer when it comes to a lot of your speculation. We'll just say that. When it comes to the actual art part of it and the actual nasty political part of it. Phoenix Tangent for $20 says, "Hail, Gary. Someone mentioned that the Hobbit Cafe, and there's a Hobbit Cafe in Houston. I'm in the area every weekend, so I'll take some pictures and email them to you. Another thing to note is the Anime Matsuri in Houston is the only con that invites Vic M as a guest. F that click." Yeah, fuck that click, by the way. And hail sorry if I mispronounce it, Anime Matsuri, for backing Vic this whole time. And yes, they have backed Vic this whole time. And I think they need to be credited. And if you're going to go to a con, go to that one. It's an anime con. So, I mean, not my thing, but I know Nick Ricada has gone there. You definitely want to go and support Nick for sure. I think Yellow Flash, I don't know if he's going to go there as a guest this year, but I think he's going. You definitely want to support him for sure. And those are two guys who have had Vic's back day one. Day one. Yeah. I mean, if like our Orlando meetup, it probably wouldn't be good for Vic. I'd say I'd invite him just because he doesn't get invited to a lot of things. You know, I'd feel like it'd be nice to invite him, but we don't charge for stuff, and he might need to do that, to make a living, seeing that he can't go to many cons now. But you know what? I think in his case, if he charged, I think people would be okay with that. You'd probably be okay with that, right? Because I'm not going to charge for stuff, and Jeremy's not going to charge for stuff, and none of the YouTubers are. But maybe if he does like some merch or a picture or something like that, that might be cool. Seeing that the guy is blacklisted from every other con except for, I think, one in Hawaii and Anime Matsuri. Unless he got blacklisted from the one in Hawaii too. I'm not sure. Just a thought, not saying it's going to happen. It's just a thought flowing through my head. Southeastern Kaiju for $2. Better a later nooner than no nooner. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. They're going to be much earlier. Much, much, much earlier. So I had to get a video done. I don't know what channel it's going on. I got to wait for the final, and Perry hasn't even touched it yet. He's finishing up the last one I did. But I want Perry to work on this one. The next one I do, I'm going to give it Quarter Black. But I'm actually taking it easy on Quarter Black this week because there's going to be what's after quarter? It's 1/8? Or is it 1/16? It's 1/8, right? Dude, I'm going off drugs. So if I got a 1/4 ounce, then there was 1/8 of an ounce, and then there was a 1/16 of an ounce. 1/8 of an ounce is definitely bigger, but a 1/4 of an ounce. Okay, never mind. He's going to be spitting out another kid, so it'll be an 1/8 or a 1/16. I'm not really sure how the math is. You guys can work it out amongst yourselves in the chat. A 1/8 black baby or a 1/16 black baby. John Thomas. Wow, it's so funny. It's according to Streamlabs, it's St. Patty's Day already. So it's on GMT time, obviously. We are many hours away from that still. It's been known for a long time. The scene from The Godfather with the Hollywood producer doing, yeah. Oh, John, it goes back to the beginning days of Hollywood. Like it is as entrenched in Hollywood as anything else. You're right. You're absolutely right. And I got to watch The Godfather again. Since you are a living Bible for comic knowledge, I wish you would have directed the DCU MCU since you're more in tune with the source material. Well, thank you, Sir Ubisan. I appreciate it. Well, I mean, I would, if there was a time, I remember early on in my channel, I'm like, buy me lunch and I'll sit down and talk to you. I offered Marvel, and I'm like, you don't have to talk to me. There is 1,000, 2,000 more people out there who've run comic shops. Talk to them. The problem is the industry did talk to comic shops, but they only talked to a few. And quite frankly, I would say out of the 8 people they regularly talk to, only 4 of them were worth talking to, if you know what I'm saying. But that time has passed. And studios don't, if they know who I am, they don't want to talk to me. There's one studio that definitively does not want to talk to me ever. I'll tell that story someday. I'm pretty close to being able to tell. That's not what I'm talking about. This is from something from the past. I'm very close to being able to tell that story. Freighter X for $1.99. We lost Kirk, but we still have Tarzan and John Wayne. We're just giving them ideas now. Will Gentry, what's up, Will? How you doing, buddy? How's it going, man? 5 British pounds. Boom, baby. 1 year clean yesterday. Still can't believe it happened, but I love that it did. Will, dude. That is awesome. Oh my God. I know, buddy. I know what you were quitting. It ain't fucking easy. And to be off a year, that is a miracle. And make sure to pay that shit forward. Go to those meetings, man. Congratulations. There's people who need your help. Aiken, $7.99, Australian. I'm after a Spider-Man omnibus. And Will, love you, man. I'm after a Spider-Man omnibus. Would it be best to get Amazing Spider-Man? This is for my 8-year-old, and I'm trying to encourage him to read. He loves Spidey. Yeah, the Amazing Spider-Man omnibus. If you're trying to encourage him to read, you might want to get volume 2 first. That would be especially an 8-year-old. Because as stated earlier, the 60s dialogue, little goofy. Might be too goofy for a kid. But after that, it's pretty good. I just looked up X-Play channel, and good luck with the young one. I just looked at the X-Play channel trailer that uploaded 6 days ago. It only has 3,000 views for a channel with nearly 500,000 subs. It makes me think those numbers are largely bot subs. Pathetic. Yeah, you have to get more interaction than that. The fact, I mean, like, that's dead channel. That's just flat out dead channel. It doesn't mean you can resurrect dead channels if the subs are real. Case in point. Not that his channel was dead, okay? But he was demonetized, and then he had no internet. Josiah Rises. Was rising. He was rising. Then Mama Susan cut him off because she didn't like his opinions that hit a little too close to home at times. We're just saying. And he went after it. Young Josiah went after it. So he was gone for months. He's back. His channel's kicking ass again. Absolutely kicking ass because he had real subs who hung with them. And once he started making content again, boom, right back at it. So, content creators, what do we learn from that? Well, for one, Josiah being gone was no fault of his own. So he didn't do anything like betray his audience. He was very consistent with his audience, so his audience stuck. Is there a thing called shadow banning? Yes, there is, but it's only done with like super political channels. Quite frankly, entertainment channels aren't being shadow banned, in my opinion. In my humble opinion, entertainment channels are not being shadow banned. I do believe we were all hit during the election, and what happened was that little fucking bubble chart came out from those fuck sticks that put a bunch of channels in a right-wing bubble, and I think that was given to YouTube, and I think YouTube put a clamp down on everything until the election was over, because YouTube has not acted that way before or since. It's like everything, like a muzzle was put on YouTube. So that's the one time I'll say it happened, but generally entertainment channels are not shadow banned. We're entertainment channels. We talk about pop culture. And if I can get away with the, somewhat milquetoast shit that I say compared to others, yeah, you're not getting shadow banned. So what you want to make sure is you are consistent with your message. Say if you're like a for the customer type, like yours truly. Quick story. If you're for the customer type, like yours truly, you don't want to like consistently go after customers. If somebody comes on your channel or you lose your temper once in a while, you make a mistake, you apologize. That's one thing. Audience will forgive you. People are very forgiving. If it's something that's consistent, meaning behavior done repeatedly over long periods of time, then people leave. And I'm as much of a viewer of YouTube as I am a content creator. I'm watching all kinds of stuff and trying to learn all kinds of stuff. That's the way. Shadow banned channels are the political channels, mostly. Right-leaning political channels. I saw YouTube celebrating OAN being removed off of a cable network. Okay, you win. You silenced a huge base of people who just had a different opinion. I'm sure that's going to solve all the problems. Oh, wait, it never does. What do you think, they're just going to stop? Do you think people who watched OAN on fucking Warner Cable, fucking who watches cable anymore? But do you think they're just going to stop? Okay, I give up. No, they're going to be pissed. They're going to be resolute. They're going to find another place to go. When I was a kid, the popular version of Peter Pan was Sandy Duncan as Peter. I remember because I was confused and I was told to shut up and not ask. Jack the Tech for $50. Yeah, Sandy Duncan as Peter Pan in the play. Yeah, that confused me too. But then I figured as a kid, I'm like, well, it's supposed to be a kid, but they need kind of an adult. So a girl is closer to a boy than a full-grown man going, I'm Peter Pan. Plus, it was the late 70s and early 80s. There's a lot of androgyny going on back then. My freedom. What's slavery then, huh? Exactly, not applicable for $2. I saw a couple motherfuckers on Twitter going, you and your my freedom. I'm like, you're too retarded for me to even respond to. I just hope you're the first two enslaved. F name, I name. Holes before souls. Am I right? For $2. Gary, were there any games you played when you were younger? Yeah, I played at arcades. Yes. I played, I liked Joust. I liked Donkey Kong. I liked Miss Pac-Man. Tempest. Played a lot of Tempest. Terminator 2 pinball machine, which is fucking awesome. Pole Position. I had my ColecoVision, played Donkey Kong on my ColecoVision. Yeah, I was into games. I'm just fucking old. I'm old. And like after my ColecoVision, I started getting like really high and getting into girls. So I just stopped. Then I went to, jail and all kinds of shit. And by the time I came back, then there's this thing called Mist and a thing called the internet. When I went in, there was no internet. When I came out, there was an internet. And I'm like, I wasn't gone that long. I mean, I was out for, some years, but I wasn't gone that long. That was mind blowing. I'm like, I get out. My first day is like, yeah, they're playing a game called Mist. And like, I'm like, what the fuck is that? And they're like, and we're going to get on the internet. I'm like, what the fuck is an internet? Give Eve Mux a chance. Imagine 12 FNT participants. Larry Herzog, no. 9 is enough. 9 is pushing it a little too far, okay? So this Friday, we don't have, I think Jeremy and Ryan are trying to do it, but I'm like, no. They have a memorial to go to, so my answer will be go to the memorial, pay attention to the memorial. And I think we got Mahler sitting in. And we got Brittany Venti as a guest. She's funny. So she'll be on. And maybe another person. But it should be a fun show. In the time since George R. R. Martin released Dance with Dragons, Brandon Sanderson has released 13 novels and novellas. James Howard for $5. Yeah, George should straight up be begging him to finish the books for him and just outline it. I mentioned that in my video. Hey, Brandon Sanderson just fucking rocked the world with his Kickstarter. With his like $30 million Kickstarter. $30 million fucking dollars. Shit. I mean, fucking big props to that. Huge props to that. I think that's a game changer. Well, anytime somebody makes some ridiculous amount of money, it's a game changer. Trust me. People go, huh? What? Everybody's going Substack now, and which is what, just Patreon for comic creators. And it's going to get fragmented. See, comic books are a cheaper form of entertainment, right? So, sorry. Comic books are a cheaper form of entertainment. So you will see the changes in comic books first that will bleed up, right? So everything's getting fragmented, which might be good. It's going to be a little harder to find the entertainment. The entertainment probably won't be as expensive in the future, but there's just going to be so much of it that little groups will be into their niches. And that might be great. And we'll all have our little niches to get into. Jimmy Kimmel, fuckbag sellout that he is, came out and dissed the podcast that had Donald Trump on. He's all, some little podcast with your logos on your sweatshirts. It's like, dude, ABC's logo is on your fucking shriveled, useless ball sack. You are the ABC brand. You are the establishment, you fucking hack sellout. And guess what? That little podcast got more views than you do, fucker. Yeah, late night is a dinosaur. Talk shows are a dinosaur, and we are the media. I've said that before. And we is all of us. There's 10,000 Joe Rogans out there. Hollywood can't compete against that shit. And pretty soon, you're going to see Jimmy Kimmel in his office on a Brio. That's what you're going to see. Kind of like it was for the Coof. ABC's going to figure out, like, do we need a big fucking studio with applause signs with this fucker with 14 fucking writers when there is people out there who don't need a single writer, who don't need a studio? I know, we're losers. Studios are in our house. Total losers. I'll take the L on that one. I'm fine. I'm fine with my wife bringing me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I don't need no bitches. I have my fill of bitches, quite frankly. And again, Jody, that is no way to talk about your co-hosts in the studio. It's very disrespectful. All right. I'm going to wrap it up. I got to wrap it up. Why did that disappear? Okay, hang on. It just disappeared. I was going to highlight that one. There we go. Brer2471. I was on the internet in the late 80s. Was very expensive, like $1 a minute expensive. Yeah. Okay. So the internet was around in the 80s, and I remember seeing websites like at the end of porno videotapes, but it wasn't anything that was in my world's vernacular in Southern California until 1994 when I got out. Now, I'm sure it was going on in 92 and 93, but I was in prison in 92 and 93, so I wasn't around. But I know there was internet in the 80s because my dad had a phone modem, the kind of with the fucking telephone put it in there because that's where I never knew what the fuck it was, but because I was too busy getting high. But my dad was an accountant, so it was his thing to the IRS and all that shit. Hey, Gary, I'm also trying to get my channel up and running after a hiatus. Always learning and helpful. I could chat with you guys hopefully you could chat with you one day. Much love. Josh Quivoto. Sorry if I mispronounced that for $4.99. Well, just shoot me an email if you want a question. But if you want to get your channel going again, and it was going before, just do what you were doing before. And it'll take a couple of months. It'll probably take 90 days. It'll take 90 days to get rolling again. You're right. Bree2471. Sandy Duncan wasn't the first female Peter Pan. She was not. I don't know if I did not mean to say that. She was not. She was a female Peter Pan. There was many female Peter Pans. Majorijan for $5 says, thanks for the entertainment. You're welcome. Thank you for being here with me. I appreciate it. Sorry, it's a little short, but yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. If I missed one, it'll be in the Square Up, which will be out in the next 24 hours. Last Friday, we got a half of previous Friday, last Friday, and just a few from yesterday, and probably a couple from today. And if I missed them, I'm sorry. I truly am sorry. So thank you to the Nerdrotics. You guys are wonderful. Thanks to everybody who tuned in. Hope you have a good night. I will be back live with a Picard review early tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Central Time. So that's 8 a.m. Pacific. I'm still on the Pacific time. I'm trying. I got to bed early last night. It was like 1:30 a.m. is like the earliest I've been to bed since I've been to Texas. After this fucking daylight savings time shit. And then losing 2 hours. It's been a little rough, but I'm getting used to it. So tomorrow morning, sometime, I'll be doing a Picard review over on Nerdrotic Live. This live stream will be unlisted here and will be archived on Nerdrotic Live. So if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. We also have Nerdrotic Daily, where Perry edits clips, does a great job over there. Fantastic job. We are creeping towards 70,000 subscribers there, and our goal is to get to 100 by the end of the year. I think hopefully we can do that. Hopefully that's up to you guys if you like it. A Song of Ice and Fire Wins a Winner video will be out tomorrow. A Miss Marvel video will be out day after tomorrow or tomorrow night, one of the two. And that'll either be on the main channel or Nerdrotic Daily. Again, Brittany Venti will be our special guest on Friday Night Tights. If you don't know who she is, she's actually been around for a while, and she's funny as hell. And Mahler will be sitting in, but we will not have Jeremy and Ryan. because they are going to John Bartolo's memorial in Vegas. So rest in peace, John Bartolo. And also, please check out Chrissy Mayer's live from January 6th. So you can celebrate January 6th all year round. It's available on iTunes and Amazon Music. And I thank you all. Have a good night. Enjoy some credits.
Nerdrotic.com.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Dame, dame.